Snowball by Warren Buffett, and I just love this book. And in this book, he talks about, you know, when he was in high school, he was a real piece of work. He hated school because he wasn't challenged by school. It was just very boring for him. He loved businesses, he loved numbers, he loved money, and school was very boring for him. So he really didn't follow the rules. The school that he went to when he was in high school was very strict. He had to wear a uniform. He had to wear his shirt tucked into his pants and slacks and a sport coat and shoes. And he was the kind of kid who loved to wear beat up tennis shoes and old khaki pants that weren't ironed. So, you know, naturally his teachers thought he was a rebel, and they really thought he would amount to nothing. And for a while he really didn't perform well in school. He actually got lots of C's and lots of D's, and he almost flunked out of school. And he says here in his book that some of the teachers predicted that I was going to be a disastrous failure. So some of his teachers thought because he didn't follow the rules, he did things a little bit differently, he didn't pass his classes, that was the end of it for him. And I'm sure there's many of you out there who have often felt the same way. People, whether it be in school or a job or whatever the case may be, has thought because you didn't follow the rules, because you didn't do it the way that they wanted you to do it, that you were just going to end up a failure. You know, a lot of times in high school, if you don't pass your high school English class, or if you don't pass your math class, that's it. That's the end of your life. You'll never make it in the real world. And that's just a bunch of baloney. That's a bunch of crap. I mean, Warren Buffett has proven that, and there's many, many other people that's proven that time and time again, that, you know, that means absolutely nothing. At any moment in our life, we can choose to turn our life around. So one of the big things for a lot of people is, now in today's economy, is losing your job. You know, our job defines who we are. It's our identity. You know, so if I lose my job, who am I? You know, what's my identity? You know, I used to be the director of such and such department for such and such high-end company. You know, who am I now? You know, who do I represent in my family and in our society? And really, your job or even your grades in school or your paycheck doesn't have to determine who you are. You get to determine who you are. You get to determine at any moment in your life, it doesn't matter where you're going or what you've done in the past, you can change things. You can turn your life around. And that's exactly what Buffett did. He actually turned his life around. He decided he didn't want C's and D's anymore, and he decided to change things, but those C's and D's were not going to determine his future. So shame on those teachers for thinking that he would turn out to be a loser and a failure. He's turned out to be one of the most successful American businessmen of all time, enormously successful financially and otherwise, and who thought he was going to be nothing but a failure because he got C's and D's in school and he didn't tuck his shirt into his pants. So in our own lives, what I've realized for myself is that at any moment, it doesn't matter where I'm going, I can choose to turn my life around and make a difference. So no matter where you are and what you're doing, if you don't like where you're going, turn it around. You're not a failure, you're not a loser, you just want to do things differently. Just turn around and make things different. So that's my takeaway from that small little sentence that I read, which is that at any moment you can decide to change things. As long as you're living on this earth, as long as you have life in you and breath in you, you can change things. You can change your life. You can become successful in whatever capacity you define success to be. So until next time, take care.